Hello, everyone. Grab a seat, get comfortable, because it is an absolute pleasure to be sitting down with you today. Welcome to Empower Fantastic Life. Find your power, live without limits. Today, in this explainer, we're going to unpack a framework that has the potential to completely rewire how you approach your goals, your career, and honestly, just your daily life. We're diving deep into the core principles of Darren Hardy's phenomenal book, The Compound Effect.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the secret success formula. We live in a world that is totally obsessed with overnight miracles, right? But the truth is, massive achievements are actually born from a highly logical, almost boringly simple system. To really wrap our heads around this, I want to give you a classic dilemma, and I want you to answer honestly. If I offered you a choice right now, you can either take $3 million in cold hard cash today, or you can take a single magic penny that doubles in value every single day for 31 days. Which one are you going to take? Be honest. Most of us instinctively grab the 3 million. It's immediate, it's tangible, and it feels like a sure thing. But let's actually look at the math behind that tiny little penny. If you chose the penny, for the first 2 weeks, you might be seriously regretting it. Even by day 20, you only have about $5,000 in your pocket. You're probably looking at the person who took the 3 million feeling pretty foolish. But here is the invisible, explosive power of exponential growth. By day 31, that single penny has doubled and compounded into over $10.7 million. It absolutely dwarfs the initial 3 million.
This right here brilliantly illustrates Darren Hardy's core equation. It is the foundational math for transforming literally any area of your life. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals a radical difference. The real tragedy? Most people quit in those first 20 days because they don't see the immediate payoff. They just don't stick around for that mathematical inflection point where the growth becomes completely explosive.
Moving on to Section 2, taking absolute ownership.
Our lives right now are simply the sum total of microscopic, everyday decisions. And that brings us to the concept of 100% responsibility. This means claiming absolute ownership of everything in your life. You have to stop blaming the economy, your boss, or your partner. True power only comes when you take absolute accountability. Think about it. You don't gain 20 pounds because you ate one piece of birthday cake at a party. You gain weight because of the daily, seemingly harmless choice to grab a sugary soda with lunch instead of water.
So the crucial switch we have to make is moving from the helplessness of complaining to the supreme control of tracking. If you want to take ownership, you have to track your behaviors. You want to take control of your finances? Start tracking every single cent you spend. Want to get healthier? Write down every single bite you take. Just the simple act of bringing conscious awareness to these tiny choices will dramatically upgrade the quality of your decisions.
Which brings us to Section 3, mastering your daily habits. Once you start making conscious choices, they eventually form habits, your life's automatic navigation system. But we have to be so careful here because bad habits are incredibly insidious. They are like a comfortable bed. Super easy to get into, but really hard to get out of. And if you've ever tried to break a deeply ingrained habit, you already know the ultimate futility of relying purely on brute force willpower to change it. Willpower is just a limited resource. It completely drains as the day goes on. So instead of relying on willpower, you need what Hardy calls why power. Let's say your goal is to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day to work on a side hustle. When that alarm blares in the cold, dark morning, your fleeting willpower is going to fail you, guaranteed. You need a deeply emotional why. Maybe it's the fear of being stuck in a dead-end job forever, or the profound desire to provide a better life for your family. That emotional anchor is the only thing that actually gets you out of bed. Tactically speaking, you also need to engineer your environment. You must eliminate the cues for your bad habits and make your good habits entirely frictionless. If you want to stop scrolling social media in bed, charge your phone in the kitchen. If you want to start a morning running habit, put your running shoes right next to your bed the night before. You want to lower the barrier to entry for the good stuff and raise it for the bad. Let's look at Section 4, unleashing unstoppable momentum. As you lock in these new habits, you unlock a physical force that makes long-term success practically effortless. We call this Big Mo, or momentum. Think of a massive stationary train on a track. Because it has zero momentum, you can literally stop it from moving by placing a single tiny wooden block right in front of the drive wheel. It'll struggle to move an inch, but if you get that exact same train speeding down the track at 80 miles per hour, it will smash right through a 5-foot-thick steel-reinforced concrete wall. That is the power of momentum. The absolute hardest part is simply getting started. And momentum is maintained through rhythm. This brilliantly illustrates why consistency always wins over intensity. Going to the gym for 3 agonizing hours on a Sunday and then doing absolutely nothing for 2 weeks, that destroys momentum and just leads to burnout. But a consistent, non-negotiable 20-minute walk every single day, that creates an unbreakable rhythm. That is exactly how you keep the speeding train moving. Section 5. Curating your influences. Look, you're not operating in a vacuum. There are 3 invisible forces constantly programming your brain, shaping your attitudes, and silently guiding your daily decisions. They are your input, your associations, and your environment. Garbage in, garbage out is a very real concept. If your input consists of anxiety-inducing news on your morning commute, your brain is going to operate from a place of anxiety. But what if you just replace that radio station with an educational audiobook or a high-value podcast? You instantly upgrade your brain's programming. That second force, your associations, is incredibly critical. As the famous saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I highly recommend taking a serious audit of your social circle this week. Who are the people lifting you up, challenging you to be better, and who are the energy vampires just draining you with constant negativity? You have to consciously curate who gets your time and energy. Now, when you have the right habits, the right momentum, and the right influences, you reach a phase called acceleration. This is the exact moment you hit your physical or mental limit. You feel like you have nothing left to give, and you consciously choose to go just a little bit further. It's doing 1 extra push-up when your arms are literally shaking, or over-delivering on a client report by just 10% more than they expected. This is the magic moment where your results stop adding up and they start multiplying. This is how you completely separate yourself from the pack. Finally, Section 6, the 3-month action plan. So, how do we bring all of this high-level theory down to earth? We need to distill this into immediately applicable steps. Every single day, you face a fork in the road. And here's the thing, it rarely looks like some grand life-altering decision. It usually looks like a choice between learning 5 new vocabulary words for that language you want to learn, or just scrolling mindlessly on your phone for 30 minutes. These seemingly boring, tiny, invisible choices form the ultimate dividing line between outstanding success and lifelong stagnation. So here is your final execution plan. Step 1. Pick just one area of your life right now: health, finances, or career. Just one. Step 2. Identify one tiny good habit to start and one tiny bad habit to stop. Step 3. Persist blindly for 3 months. I say blindly because you absolutely must push through those initial 60 days where the results are totally invisible. You have to trust the math. The inflection point is coming. I want to leave you with this final, critical thought to ponder as you go about your day today. What is the one tiny choice you will make differently today? Remember, it's not about the massive leaps. It is all about the micro decisions. You've been listening to Empower Fantastic Life, Jaeger Empowerment Academy. See you next time. Bye-bye.